Podcast. Yo soy su compa Grizz. Conmigo, como siempre, mi carnal Faraón.
Hey guys, ¿cómo están? Yo soy Faraón from the Paradise Podcast, Sin City on Air Studios. I'm the Swisher, our producer, Ivan. Big shout out. Then today, our madrina and first guest for the podcast, man. Introduce yourself.
Buenas noches. My name is Jackie, mejor conocida como La Prima. Y estoy muy agradecida de estar aquí, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. You guys know the deal. We're going to go ahead and play our game of Uno, and you guys know, the winner, what they do. And if you don't know what the winner of Uno does, then watch our first episode. We have it dropped in our page. Follow us, like us, you know the drill. But today we're going to hear a little bit about our friend's story. I know you guys like, crime and
drama.
And drama. And our friend Jackie definitely has a great story to tell us. But who better to say it than you, Jackie?
Me, myself.
You know?
Right. All right.
Why don't we start in the beginning? It is a long story. Sorry to cut you off, but it is a long story. But like every good story has to start in the beginning. So let us know a little bit about your coming up, and then get to the real juicy part.
Okay. My coming up.
And then let's see, who's going to be the dealer in our game? 6, 2, 6.
Didn't this happen?
Ready? 2, 6. Me and you? 3, 1. You're the dealer.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Cards
Go ahead and
shuffle.
put those over there.
I go ahead and serve the cards and start your story, Jackie. We're so eager to hear it.
Okay. Well, let me see.
Well, to give a little content, a little recap. Jackie is freshly out of prison for an 8-year sentence, pretty much, that she committed as a juvenile. Right? Was it on your teens?
Yeah, I was 19.
19. So yeah, it was on her teen years. So Jackie, jump right in.
All right. So let's see. What's the best way to start this?
From the beginning.
Okay.
When you woke up that day.
Okay, that day in the morning. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here in front. I don't remember, But so obviously, we know, the people who are close to me know that there was a time that I wasn't doing too good. You know what I mean? I was just doing the most, and ultimately that led me to my case. But when I say like doing the most, like just
Well, your case was all over the news. You guys went in a series of attempts, and then at the end of the day, it was just way out of control.
Okay, so here's the thing, because people get confused with thinking that it was one time. Right. You know what I mean? Obviously, it wasn't one time, and it wasn't in one day.
Okay.
So that's why when like that question is asked to me, it's kind of, I'm trying to think of what I remember. And there's times when no te puedo decir esto pasó este específico día, porque eso pasó in the mix. The adrenaline's running. We're under, certain things.
Tell us what you guys were doing.
So ultimately, what we were doing is what everybody, when they're that age, wants to do. It's like, oh yeah, let's go make money. You know what I mean? If I could sit here and say, me levanté esa mañana y dije, todo va a llegar a este punto, ¿sí me entiendes? I can't say that, Sí me ponía a pensar, like, hey, las cosas que estaba haciendo me van a meter en problemas, pero not to those extents.
O sea, no captabas a esa edad.
Para nada. Yo, I've said it before, I didn't even know there was a state prison here.
Okay.
So, te la voy a poner así. Pero bueno, el punto es que estamos acá, ¿no? We're all chilling, and de un momento a otro, like, nos pega la loquera, right? Por obvias razones.
Porque le pagaron a la loquera.
Okay, well, let's go do a beer run. Did it maybe started there?
Yeah, maybe something like, sí me acuerdo something like that happening, algo pequeño, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, it was more like funny, like, nunca imaginamos, like, se va a llegar el punto donde vamos a ir a la tienda y van a balacear a alguien.
Okay, well, tell us what you were arrested for. What were you charged for?
So, when all this happened, I did have like 36, 37 charges, right?
Okay.
Including attempt murder, and just robbery as a whole, right? We went in there. Well, I went to a place, with the people I was with, and they were,
Because I know they were all teenagers. I mean,
yes.
I think the youngest guy, which is inclusive the guy that had
Correct.
the firearm, was 15 years old, right?
Yeah. Okay. So You know what? That's a perfect place to start.
Yeah.
So the people I was with, right? We all met in the same neighborhood we grew up in. And, okay, this is getting fun. I am skipped. Really? Okay. So we all grew up there, whatever. At the time, I was 19, right? And we're hanging out with a whole bunch of people que, pues ahí crecimos juntos, los conocemos desde niños, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I didn't really, a ese punto, I'm 19, I'm not thinking like, oh, I'm hanging out with a 15-year-old. Like, they're just around. It's not like, oh, we were together all the time, you know? Pero cuando pasaron las cosas, we all got together y fuimos a hacer las cosas que hicimos. Long story, not too short, but what I'm trying to get at is that fuimos a una tienda, fuimos a varias tiendas, pero incluso no pasaron las cosas que pasaron en todo, right? Lo que fue pasando que, pues el muchacho con que estaba ahí, you know, no sé, yo no puedo hablar por él. En mi opinión, yo siento que se paniqueó. You know what I mean? Yo siento que él vio que...
Ok, espérame. Ok. Entran a la tienda, ok.
Entran ellos.
Ok, entran...
I can give you what I saw, you know, my perception, because that's all I got.
I mean, there's
you know?
a video.
Right, well, we're not watching that. Definitely not.
So, okay, so go ahead. Start from that point. They enter the store.
Yeah.
They enter the store, and what happens after that?
So they enter the store. Excuse me. I can't pick that up.
No, if you picked it up, it's already
No,
yours.
I can't. I'm not picking that whole deck up. Definitely not. ¿Le tengo que dar o nomás recojo?
No, le tienes que dar. Okay.
Wait, who was talking? You or me?
You are.
Okay.
Go ahead, man. We want to hear your story. We want to hear your side of the story. You can say it however you want. You know, at the end of the day, you were with the group of teenagers, and some of them were kids. You guys started as a joke. You know, it was just, you know, it was fun, and then things got really out of control.
Correct.
You know, but it got so out of control that it became a serious crime.
It got so out of control that it became a string of crimes.
Ándale, okay.
You know what I mean? It got so out of control that, como te digo, nuestra primera reacción no era like, oh, vamos a seguir haciendo esto. Era algo como de cura. ¿Sí me entiendes? Era algo como de cura. Y...
Like I said, at that age, you probably, you know, don't think about the consequences, being under the influence, all those kind of things kind of...
They play a big
role,
right.
You know? It's like you really have no sense of mortality at that age.
It's more of no sense of consequences, you know? Like you don't consider that.
Everybody has their opinion, you know what I mean? But it's like, of course, like, you know, whatever it was... Again, I'm trying to hear those stories. So when they go in, what happens?
Okay, so they go in. We go to one, right? They go in, they do what they do, agarran X cosa, lo que ellos quieren, ¿no? Se van. Nos vamos, porque como saben, los que saben que yo estaba manejando.
Okay.
Right? Llegamos vamos a decir que fue la última tienda, ¿no? Y llegamos a la última tienda y ya... Ellos se meten, se ve todo, como te digo, we had done already 8 more. You know what I mean? Todo se ve normal, no es nada como paniqueado. We're not going in there and like, oh, vamos a hacer esto. Es cura. You know what I mean? It's like beer runs, there's stuff like that. It wasn't supposed to be like such a big scenario as what it turned into, como te digo, right? So en la última tienda, me acuerdo parqueándome, right? Me parqueé, and at the time I was only smoking weed. But I was probably tomando or something, right? So estoy parqueada y I'm looking ahead, right? I don't remember what specific streets there are, pero me acuerdo que iba pasando un policía, right? Iba pasando un policía and I'm looking at him and I'm just like, and they're in the store and I could see them from my review mirror, you know what I mean? I can't see everything because está chiquito, you know, pero los puedo ver whatever moving around, no? Y estoy viendo al policía pasar and I'm just like, that would be a damn shame. You know, like si algo pasara,
right.
You know? Y, so yeah, vi la policía, bueno, se vienen al carro, right? Se vienen al carro y uno se tarda más de lo normal.
Okay.
Porque normalmente like, entraban juntos, you know, y pues se salían juntos. Ese es como el ritmo que yo empecé a ver con ellos.
Okay.
Right? Y esa vez no fue así. Se metió ya uno al al carro y luego el otro y estaban como más alterados que lo normal.
Okay.
You know? Y pues, I have one job. I'm driving away. You know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? That's all I'm thinking about at the moment. So, is it on me?
Yeah, but
Okay.
go ahead, continue your story.
Yeah, that would be better because I get distracted.
Yeah, continue your story.
So, ya se meten todos and we're driving away in silence. You know what I mean? Está la música, X cosa, pero we're ultimately driving away in silence. And it just felt different. Pero en ese momento, una de las personas que estaban ahí estaba más, like, I don't know, they were going through something. You know what I mean? They were going through something. I don't know. En mi mente, yo, like, nomás está paniqueando o algo así, ¿no? Well, she was, very much so. So, ya de repente, la persona que lo balació, you know, él dice, like, oh, like, I shot him, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And
So you didn't hear a gunshot or anything?
I didn't. No, I had the music on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And-
But I mean, like, so they go in there. One of those guys shoots the guy, comes out, and they're panicking, and you're driving away, and then you are able to pick up the panic off of them because
I'm able to. It's silent though. Like no one's really saying nothing about it, but
just the vibe is in the car.
just like it's like me acuerdo. You know, it's like the 3-seater in the back. Yo puedo ver my review mirror, la del medio, and está más como. Just, I don't know, it was just, I don't know how to explain it. You know what I mean? You just have to see, I'm assuming the moment of panic or having just encountered that or not expecting that. You know what I mean? So I remember seeing that. Y pues ya el muchacho bien serio, él nomás me dijo, like, oh, pues, you know, like I shot him, you know? And
what was your thoughts at that moment? O sea, what went through your head when he said that and you're like, fuck?
In that moment, when he said that, I was like, I didn't believe him at first. Honestly, I'm like, really? And then he's like, yeah, no, I'm like, are you being serious? Like, and he's like, yeah. Y como entraron tan, I would have not expected that entrance to the car. You know what I mean? So.
Did you ever ask why did you shoot him?
Yeah.
And what was the answer?
You know, just.
I don't know.
Well,
you said it yourself. They were young and they don't consider mortality.
Right.
I mean, like to them it was fun and giggles until it wasn't.
What I mean is like, did he go for something? Did he see him like reaching? Was it self defense?
That's what I understood from what's said. Like I'm not gonna repeat like everything that I do remember, you know. But But for 100%, I do know that was the case, and I strongly believe that. You know, like you said, he's 15. You know what I mean? He's 15. He whatever he's doing at the time, you know what I mean? Whatever he was on. And I do remember him, you know, just expressing that, like, I seen something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I seen something. And when it comes to me or them, like, you know, at the time, that's their mentality.
I mean, like if I'm a clerk at any gas station and I see a random people coming in and with the gun and I have a way to defend myself, I will probably end up defending myself.
Do you want to know the irony of something?
What is it?
I'm a cashier right now.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So yeah, eat that up for a little bit. Think about it. I think about stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah, when I'm at work, like, si me pongo a pensar, like, porque nos dicen, like, los clientes a veces nos preguntan, like, oh, like, ¿qué harían si los robaran, si la gente roban algo? And I'm like, yo no voy a hacer nada. Like, I'm gonna stand right aside. Like, I'm not gonna do anything.
Yeah. But you said something.
Me, you know?
You said something like his mentality was it's gonna be either him or me, right?
Okay.
So like, this is not obviously I wasn't there, but he felt that he had to shoot.
In that initial moment, no, I didn't. I just didn't. Como te digo, la falta de conciencia. Nunca yo me imaginé que fuera llegado a esos grados.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It was supposed to be like fun at first, you know? Like it's like a beer run. We're 19, 18, 17, all the way down to 15. Like, what do other... I mean, probably not every 15-year-old does this, you know?
No.
I know like a lot of people where we grew up, you know, they do stupid shit like that.
Okay.
So,
all right. So now you guys drove away. Do you guys continue to look for another place, or you guys actually you guys stopped?
That was actually it for us. And then, so this is something I never told you because we spoke before, you know, so you know. We actually went to California because we knew we were going to jail.
Okay.
Yeah, we went to California. We went to California for 3 days.
Okay. What made you guys come back?
I had to come back. You know what I mean?
Right.
It didn't matter what I did. Like yo siempre he tenido cola que me pise. You know what I mean? And it doesn't matter where I go, I'm never going to leave my people.
Right.
When I was gone, it was because I wasn't doing good. But obviously, like, if you know me now, like, the new me, like, my family's everything. They've always been everything. I just wasn't in the right state of mind.
Right.
You know? So
Okay, let's forward to where you got arrested.
that's an interesting one. Okay, and this I remember, okay? Very clearly, too. Okay, getting arrested. Okay. So I've always had my suspicions of something. I do believe that somebody like I was cool with kind of like set me up. You know?
They told on you.
Yes, I've never really talked about it unless my close, really close people, you know, like my family,
Right.
really, you know? And just because they knew this person.
Okay.
So I was the last one to get arrested. And everybody else was arrested. And then we're on the news, the car's on the news, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, okay. Yeah, I just kept doing como si nada. Because no
But
tenía
where
con-
did they pick you up from?
So I got picked up at, where did I get picked up? Okay. So I ended up going to a friend's house that day, right? She was like, I guess she was having like a little kickback or something, right? And I think, si me acuerdo correctly, like everybody knew, you know what I mean? Like they knew who I was with, they knew what we were doing. Like people, como dice, you know, the thing, you know, people, like they helped people. They were good helping community members trying to make sure
The criminals behind bars.
correct, you know, and I support that now, just so we're all clear.
Okay.
So I went over, right, and I had my daughter with me. She was, what, at the time, probably like 3?
Okay.
Okay, which is my oldest. She was probably like 3. So fuimos para allá, we're just there, like no es nada grande. Like pensé que iba a ser algo poquito más grande, la verdad. You know, like I thought it was going to be something a little different. And it wasn't. It was algo pequeño. Bueno, llegué, we're chilling, so I'm like looking around like I really don't want to be here, you know, like I know what's going on out there. So I should probably be home, you know, the most that I can por ahorita. So llegamos, todo bien, not even the minute later, porque me acuerdo me acababa de sentar. Like literally, I just sat down. Y tú sabes las puertas, pues over there where we live normally tienen like la reja, X cosa. La reja estaba abierta. La reja estaba cerrada y la puerta estaba abierta.
Okay.
You know, so en cuanto me senté, the couch is like this, the door's right here. So I'm facing forward. I can't really see, but I can kind of turn. Y está oscuro, ¿no?
Mm-hmm.
Porque es de noche. So somebody like runs up to the door and they try to like, you know, and they're saying Jackie. I don't go by Jackie, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Everybody knows me by Prima.
Right.
So they're like trying to do this, you know, pueden abrir. Y dan Jackie, where's Jackie at, you know? And the person I was with, she goes to the door and she's like, she's not here, you know? And she shuts the door. And I get up, I get my kid, and I go to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I stand in the bathroom and I call my mom and I'm like, you need to come get my kid right now. I was like, just come get her, le dije. And she's like, ¿qué está pasando? I'm like, ven por ella, por favor, le dije. Mm-hmm. So yeah, yo me quedé en el baño hasta que they had helicopters outside. Like, it was todo un show. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Y, you know, I've never really talked about this. So if I'm a little nervous, excuse me, you guys, everyone, excuse me. So, I'm on my phone with my mom the whole time, right? So I can hear my mom cuando llega. Y ya, like, they're asking her, like, who are you? You know, because she's walking up donde está todo las cosas, you know? Y no la dejaban entrar. And I was just like, damn, like, en ese momento, you know, yo pensando, like, I know where I'm at in that moment. You know what I mean? I do feel that in that moment, I probably would have took a chance to try to get away had I not had my kid. You know?
Right.
I'm being completely honest.
Okay. You
like,
think so?
I probably would have not gotten away, but I probably would have tried for sure.
Okay.
Like, it wasn't just going to be like, oh, okay, here I am, you know? But it actually was. Because I gave my kid to my mom, and then I was like, all right, well, whatever you have to do, you know?
So you took it?
Yeah, I went outside. You know, and I did that. So
What do you think about that, bro?
So when they come in the house,
They
or you
don't
go
come in.
outside?
So, como te digo, no dejaban entrar a mi mamá. So,
Oh,
ya
okay.
cuando mi mamá que no, I was like, all right. I was like, pues te voy a ir a dejar a la niña, le dije. Pues me van a arrestar. And pues my mom was like, a mí me vale madre. So I was like, okay. I was like, all right then, my bad. So yeah, that's what I did.
So when you come out of the house, there's guns drawn. Somebody grabs you right away.
Well, I had my kid like really close to me. So I think they like, who are like all the police, they weren't even super close to me. Like I said, I've mapped it out in my head, at the time, like I'm pretty sure. Point is, I didn't do that. I went, I had just had my kid close to me, and once they seen me, then yeah, they got all in their little exit mode, whatever it is that they call. And yeah, I was just like, my mom was like just pointing at my kid, and I just gave her over, and I knew what it was, and they put me in the car, and they just kept trying to ask me questions. I'm like, honestly, I was like, you guys know what's up. Like, if you guys didn't know what's up, you guys wouldn't be here right now. So I have really nothing.
Yeah. Smart choice.
So you get took into county,
Yeah.
and there you talk to detectives, I'm guessing.
No, I got put on, they locked me down completely for like a month because at the time, supposedly being that fact that I was on the news, like that's a process they have.
Okay.
Yeah.
So kind of like a protective custody.
I wasn't in protective custody. I was in a normal pod. I came out by myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. And then...
You were just a dangerous inmate, pues, practically.
I was just like high max, basically.
Okay.
But they couldn't lock me down like high max because I'm not classified yet.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go to court after that?
So I went to court. I went to court once my co-defendants, the juveniles, were tried as adults.
Okay.
So because we had to go all together. You know what I mean? So.
Okay, and the sentence was?
So my sentence was. Okay, so this is what my sentence was. My sentence was 6 to 20 years, but I had been in jail 2 years already when I got sentenced, and I got no credit time served because I had other open cases that I had to take care of while I was there.
Okay.
So-
and that time was done in county?
Yeah, that I did. No, not all of it. I had gone to prison for something else. I got arrested for my case. I had a suspended sentence. Obviously, it's open now. And they sent me to prison. So I did a year in prison first, then I did a year in county.
Okay.
Yes, but then I went to prison for a month. I mean, after like a month later because I owed them prison time,
Yeah.
So I did that, and then I paroled out, but I paroled out to county to keep fighting my other case that I was facing.
Right.
Right. So what was that first day when you're on that bus or van or whatever, you pull up to the jail? What was that first experience like?
To the jail, to the prison?
I mean, to the prison, sorry.
The first time. Okay, so we're going to skip 6 weeks because you're locked down for 6 weeks, right? Okay, so getting out of, it's called the fish tank, right? And going into the jungle. It was...
It's like a zoo.
Definitely.
Like the zoo, al rancho.
I mean, even the name.
Literally. Está grande. Estaba en una celda con 12 personas, right?
Okay.
I'm young. At first, I'm a little quiet. I kind of stay to myself. Pero como les dije, like, la personalidad es la personalidad. Mi personalidad no es callada. Mi personalidad no es calmada. You know what I mean? So ya uno se empieza a acoplar. Like, me, at least I can't talk about everybody, but me, wherever you put me, like, I adapt.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I adapt there. So, I don't know, nunca me sentí como intimidated by being there. Like, I was ready to fight if I had to, but it really wasn't even like that.
So la gente puede que tenga like what they see in the movies. You know what I mean? Like that's what they think prison's gonna be like. A lot of us know what men go through.
Right.
It's like in the men's side, of course there's politics. There's a lot of violence, obviously. A lot of things that it's like when you're new, you got to show paperwork, you got to go with your people. If you don't mind your P's and Q's, then it's like you're gonna get got. You know, it's
right.
like what was the breakdown in the women's side?
So I want to say that before I got there, they were trying to like establish like maybe a sense of politic, you know? And maybe before I got there, let me correct myself completely. Discard that whole comment, okay? I want to say there was a sense of politic at some point, cuando maybe antes de mis tiempos, you know? Estaba así como, excuse me, muy leve la cosa, ¿sí me entiendes? Sí, llegaban morras que like mexicanas, X cosa, pero no te llegaban que like, hey, like, ¿de dónde eres? You know, like, te llegaban más como like, hey, ¿sabes? No somos gente, you know what I mean? Like, todo bien, ocupas algo, you know what I mean? Y no todas, pero some people did. You know, so it's more like of a sense of like, they try to make it like a sense of sisterhood in there.
Right.
Como te digo, no estoy hablando por todas, estoy hablando por some of them.
Right.
You know?
Yo siempre he escuchado que in the women's prison, it's always just like that. It's more of a sisterhood, community, like help each other, go a tejer y a pintar type of shit.
Right. Well, listen, I actually did a program in prison, right? I did a program in prison that it's like it's a recovery program, but it's a re-entry program. So yo lo que quería era, like I had been there since I was 19, you know, yo me quería educar en lo que es lo social, because uno es social allá adentro, pero nada como acá afuera. Out here, it's way bigger out here.
Okay.
Of course, you know, but it felt really big for a little bit when I came out here. You know, people were different. My personality is a little ruda, you know what I mean? And people are just so sensitive nowadays. I think it was COVID or something.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're saying.
It must have been COVID because I did experience COVID in there. So,
well, I have a friend that was locked up in a California prison, right? And she used to tell me that the biggest problems in there, or the biggest fights in there, was who will buy the biggest vegetable. Is that true?
Negative. Or maybe not at this prison, you know? And I'm surprised because we're in Vegas, you know, all the hoes go there. So, but no. Honestly, in my opinion, the most fights that happened were over like girlfriends.
Girlfriend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what I say? Like 97, 98% of the women that go in there, they go a little...
Lesbian.
Definitely.
You think so? Even if they're straight or never tried it outside?
They'll be straight as hell and have a whole girlfriend and get out and still be straight.
Ándale.
She said what she said, okay?
She said what she said.
She said what she said, okay?
Oh, shit. Okay.
So it's kind of like, you know, obviously there's, you know, male-female dynamic. Like there's the butch, or I don't know.
It's called the stud. It's called the stud.
Okay.
But there's dykes and then there's stems and all of that, you know? But
all right, break that down a little bit.
Okay, so this is my opinion, right?
Okay.
There's a feminine girl that likes girls, you
Right.
know? I think I would consider myself that. You know, I do consider myself very feminine, even though I'm dominant.
Okay.
But I have a dominant personality. That's different.
Okay.
Right? So there's a stem que es como una muchacha, like,
It's dominant, not masculine. Okay, guys?
It's dominant. Por si no sabían, eh? Okay.
All right, so...
So the stem is una muchacha that she'll still use kind of makeup, pero se ve como boyish, you know, como... You know, like the girls that have like short hair, se lo hacen así, pero se pintan, and they wear something kind of cute, pero...
my friend that's also into girls says, I like women, not faggots.
Yeah. There you go. So that's a stem to me.
Okay.
And then there's a stud, que ya ellas piensan que son completamente niños, y in sus heads, that's what they are, and I'm gonna let them have that. So
Okay.
And the fights were...
nothing against them, you know. We
Right,
all got
no.
friends. I actually got very good friends that are both sides. I mean, I got one of my boys, man. You can't even tell he's a boy.
right.
And then one of my girls, you know, she looks like a 15-year-old boy. You know, I mean, like,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Well, I have a lot of transgender friends.
Yeah.
Like a lot, and well, most of my friends are lesbians.
Right. Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, and my friends, other than, you know, the people that I still talk to de acá afuera, a lot of my closest friends son the people I grew up with in prison. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
what exactly were the fights about? Like, I understand, like, okay, like, you know, she's mine, like, type of thing?
like, it was just like, to me, they would be like, oh, we're not fighting over it. We're fighting over the respect. I'm like, no, sissy, you are fighting over the bitch, 100%. Like, what you mean? Porque es que, so cuando uno vive in pods, right? So let's just say Unit 1, right? It was Unit 1, and it's A pod, B pod, A, B, C, D, E, and F. That's all Unit 1.
Okay.
So when I got there, we all used to function together, right? And íbamos a la yarda todos juntos, toda la cosa. Pero ya cuando segregaron la yarda, porque we got segregated, es cuando empezaron más como cosas que no se veían, so la vieja la dejaba por otra, or whatever the case was. Así es como pasaba. It wasn't nada grande, but I seen some funny fights.
Like?
I could tell you that. Like, at school, you know, because we go to school, whatever you want to do. I went to school, right? And somebody was coming in from yard, and I guess she seen her girlfriend at our school time, right? And she came to school and she knocked her out. She just came up to her and she, boom. Y ella cayó como literally like, así. And I was like, I'm just gonna excuse myself,
funny,
you know
but,
what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And I just kept walking.
Okay, yeah, minding your business. I mean, I think that's
mientras no me pega a mí, me vale madre.
eso ya es naturaleza, ¿no?
So right there, she felt disrespected because she was with somebody else.
I don't know if she felt disrespected. I don't know qué pedos ellos ya hayan tenido, but I knew they were pareja.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. So then you don't see all those things that people are always afraid of. Like if let's say you have a strong personality, right?
Okay.
And you say I'm me wherever I go and slowly me acoplo. But then there's girls that are not like that. Okay. So, digamos, son frágiles y son menos en el rollo.
Okay.
Llegan, they're more afraid, obviously están temblando, so you don't get this big, big girl coming to her and be like, hey, man, come here, I'll protect you by your mind. That shit don't happen to them?
I wouldn't say it doesn't happen. It just it's not
Doesn't happen that way.
approached like that.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
There's a little bit more finesse.
Correct. And women, godly, those women right there got the mouth.
Yeah? Oh,
For sure.
shit. Okay.
For
Wow.
sure.
So they definitely run game.
No,
Very.
okay. De la A hasta la Z.
De la A hasta a la A otra vez.
Yeah.
Like, is
Y
it on?
repetí unas letras. ¿Cómo va la
So-
canción, güey?
You pick up 4, bro.
What? Are you guys with me or against me, man? Come on.
So you said that they started segregating the yard when you got there.
Right, yes.
So how would they segregate? The same as the men, like race or?
No.
everybody out.
Not even like that. Not even a little bit.
So how was it segregated?
So instead of all of us going to yard together, it was A pod, A, C, and F.
Okay.
So 3 of the pods went outside together.
Oh, so it was a numbers thing. It wasn't
Correct.
like, okay, like this group's getting at that group, so we got to separate
Not
them.
even a little bit, no.
Okay, I got you.
Okay.
And in there, what was like a day-to-day for you?
My day-to-day, I think it changed. I mean, como todo en la vida, pues uno vive allá adentro, uno tiene, hay personas that I encountered que están haciendo vida ahí, and hay rutina, hay rutina, like, hay rutina como, pero para mí cambiaba, hubo un tiempo that like I hella started working out and like I was like, yeah, I'm gonna start doing this. Y me sentía muy bien, pero, and then I just got burnt out con él. Like, ya, dejé de ir.
What was the hardest thing for you in there?
The hardest thing for me in there.
Like the hardest thing to adapt to? Besides obviously not having your freedom, but out of that rutina that you're talking about, what was the hardest thing to adapt to out of the routine?
Let me see.
That you will say, fuck, man, this is not something I want to do.
I don't remember anything like that. I remember what was the hardest thing for me. Like
Yeah,
just
for
being
you.
in prison.
Yeah, for you.
When I was like 23, cuando apenas llegué a la prisión, like no llegué and I was like, oh my God, like I'm going through court dates, you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to distract myself. So I kind of wilded out a little bit, like I started doing the most in there. Like,
right.
The most. So the hardest part was when I turned 23, I remember just being in a place in my mind where I was like, hey, como que ya es hora, ¿no? Ya es hora, like, ya aliviánate. Like, I started going to school. Like, I got my GED, my high school diploma, and I went to college. You know, I have certifications in graphic design.
Okay.
I started the paralegal thing, but I didn't get to finish it because that's like when COVID started coming. And we got a lot of restrictions after COVID. The prison wasn't open anymore.
How was COVID for you guys?
We were just locked down. That's
24/7.
Literally, that was it.
But how about your cellmates? I mean, like,
I had a really good bunkie. Wait, who was my bunkie during COVID? Oh, actually, no, not at all. Actually, during COVID was bad. I was locked down with a bunkie I did not really care for.
okay.
And like en mis cuartos, you know, like todo muy respectful. I'm just gonna put it like that. You know, like I feel even if somebody didn't want to set boundaries with me, you know what I mean? I would tell them like, hey, we're gonna both be in here. We're not super cool. We're not gonna be specifically friends. You know what I mean? Si se da la conversación, bueno. You know, pero pues I had my music, I had my TV. Like I would be in there, I would write, I would draw. You know, pero yeah, COVID was just COVID.
Okay.
The only thing about COVID que me pusieron a trabajar, because the people in the kitchen got sick.
Okay.
They got sick and I had to work in the kitchen.
How's the kitchen, man? How's the prison jail food for women?
Don't eat there.
Why?
Like, don't do it.
Why?
Okay? Ooh-wee. Okay. I'm going to tell you guys a story, right? For me, it's called the bug story.
Okay.
Okay, so
the bug
story,
okay.
Right? So I have a really good friend, and her name's Blackie, right? Shout out to Blackie, always, everyone. Like, she's the most realest person, one of the realest people.
Oh man, what a coincidence. Our cat just walked in. That's Blackie.
No way. Oh, she's here.
Go with it, Blackie.
So, nos ponen a trabajar. We go to college. That's why we live in a certain pod. Uh-huh. But our pod had caught COVID first. So we were locked down. Ya nos habían deslaqueado. But we were segregated, so we didn't catch COVID for nobody else. The whole other prison was shut down but us. So one day they walk in, they're like, hey, everybody get up. You guys are going to work. So we go to work. And I don't know what I'm doing. This is the first time I ever worked in the kitchen, you know. Yo no sé lo que estoy haciendo para nada. Like, I don't know about wearing gloves. I don't know about none of that. So, yeah, they're like, nomás pónganse guantes, X cosa, and just start cooking. And I was like, and, you know, there's estas cosas grandes. We're feeding 1,000 people. We're not making, you know, we're making a whole bunch of trays and we're sending them out. Like, we're making the trays, sending them out, making trays sent to every single pod.
Okay.
So, we're hurrying up. Like, honestly, during COVID, one thing que pasó en la prisión, people no comieron bien. Porque we didn't get food, you know, like everything was shut down.
Okay.
So, I remember me and my friends when we were put food in the trays, nos poníamos extra food a los people in the hole. Because they can't order canteen, you know?
Right.
And,
that's a good thing.
Yeah, it was cool.
Out, right?
So one time, right, we're looking for something with flour. I think it was flour, right? Because I don't know if they were gonna bake something X cosa. So viene y trae el balde de flour. Y they're like, my friend's like, we're not gonna use that porque tiene bugs, you know? And one of the girls that works in the kitchen, you know, she's like, oh, how many bugs? You know, she's like, how many bugs? And my friend was like, does it matter how many bugs? Like, it has bugs, you know? She's like...
Extra protein.
Literally, no, I don't know about all that. It was just nasty in there, honestly. And I don't know why they let us cook. Like, we weren't prepared for that. I'm sorry to them.
Okay.
I mean, it's something like la necesidad, you know? It's like, obviously, you need hands on deck. You got to feed all those people.
Definitely.
And, but I want to hear more... The point where you said, ya me tengo que poner las pilas, you know, I got to do something while I'm in here. Because not a lot of people do that.
Right.
You know, a lot of people, unfortunately, get, you know, locked up and they come out worse. You know, they get a bigger criminal mentality.
Right.
You know, there's some people that it was their first, you know, crime. And then in there, they meet people that put them up on game.
Right.
You know, but you didn't do that. You know, it's like, whether or not you were sorry for what you did, regardless of that fact, you try to turn a negative into a positive.
Right.
And what was it that made you make that decision?
What made me? I think ultimately, like, I don't remember what was going through my mind specifically, but I remember I remember that day vividly. You know, I remember.
My bad, I interrupted. Blackie keeps coming over here, man. He wants to say hi. Say hi, Blackie. There? Okay. Now, we're recording. You can go ahead and step out of here. Bye.
He's gonna get his moment. He don't care.
He like, get my shot. It just wouldn't go away. All right, guys. Sorry for that. We'll continue. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, okay. So I remember being outside and I was in yard and I was like, ya había cumplido los 23, creo, right? And I was just out there and I was just like tired, you know what I mean? Because como te digo, hay cosas allá adentro que uno puede hacer que es básicamente como viviendo acá afuera, you know? I'm always paranoid because I'm gonna, whatever, you know, me tengo que estar cuidando X cosa, you know, like, y no de la gente, de la policía, you know what I mean? So, I just told myself, I'm like, I'm just not gonna do these things anymore. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna do these things. Voy a terminar la escuela, voy a hacer lo que tengo que hacer y me voy a dar tanto tiempo, you know? I got my GED en tanto tiempo. I got my high school diploma en tanto tiempo. I really did achieve all my goals. And I remember feeling really proud of myself when I got my GED.
Of course.
Because I didn't think I could do something like that. Like, I've always been really smart, pero no como... Yo no me consideraba, like, book smart. You
Pero
know?
no aplicada.
Correct.
Right.
So,
I hope you're not allergic.
I am, but it's cool.
Come here, Blackie. You got to get out of here, man.
It's cool. Just leave him there.
Go back outside.
So, I was just like, I'm going to change. There was a program in prison that I speak really highly of that program. You know, I do really, really, is it on me?
Yeah.
I do really genuinely believe that this program helped me a lot. Y como lo mencioné más temprano, es ese programa que te digo, it's a recovery program. A recovery program and a re-entry program. So te enseñan skills para cambiar tu estilo de vida, tu manera de pensar y las cosas con que te quieres surround yourself with.
Okay.
Y te enseñan cómo re-entry, you know, like las cosas, like they showed me how to make a resume, they showed me how to do this, they, you know, explicándome más o menos.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, and now, like, you know, I take a lot of pride in, because I've put in a lot of hard work to be the person that I am. And then we go back to your to answer your question of what was the hardest part for me.
Okay.
It was when I decided that I was done, like bullshitting. It was everything that came after.
Okay.
Like just having to humble myself and just not react to certain situations that before I would never allow.
Right.
You know what I mean? Having to sit there and be like, is this really worth it? Because I am not going to get out my first date if I don't.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Nice.
That was the hardest part. Just
one step about improving yourself that people, you know, maybe don't, you know, think that they don't need improvement, or, you know, they're already doing, you know, what they want to do. But people like us, you know, that have, you know, stumbled and messed up, you know, and coming from the background that we come from, it's hard to put that person away.
correct.
You know, it's hard to stop basically being who you were in order to fall in line.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I know that's why I say that it's very, you know, rare, because it's difficult.
Yes.
You know, it's hard to put that person. I mean, you literally have to change everything that you were in order to fall in line.
Correct.
You know, it's like, and when you do, you know, it's like, of course you feel proud of yourself.
Yes.
You know, it's like all your accomplishments, big and little, you know, it's like you had to stop being who you were. You know, it's like, and that's not easy.
Right.
You know, it's like, but, you know, it's like, to me, it's very, you know, inspirational, you know, and motivational that you did do that.
And you know what? There's nobody better to say that than you, brother.
Thank you.
Because you have worked so hard for your
Correct. Yes,
self-improvement.
you have. And I tell
Yeah.
you all the time how proud I am of you, because like you said it right now, I know it's not easy.
Yeah.
You know, you lose a sense of yourself because you want to be a different person, but you don't want to lose the person you are because you think you're not going to have nothing left.
Yeah,
and that
and
is,
then you're so
and to
used to that.
find the new person, you want to think like, I don't have to do these things to be who I am.
Right.
You know, I am who I am regardless of what I do.
Nah, and you're so used to the old person.
Correct.
That you just want to embrace it. And the way you see it is you spend so much time to be that person. And even though other people see it wrong, you don't think it's wrong. You
Right.
think it's the right way to be, and it costs you a lot of sacrifice
And-
to be that person.
And you know what's crazy? I'm pretty sure we've all encountered
We
this.
all been there.
Like we encounter a lot of disencouragement.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We
Definitely.
encounter so much disencouragement from the people we least expect it from. But I try to be mindful that that's not their intention, because that's all they know. How do I expect them to believe something else that when all I've done is show them this person?
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean? That is all they know.
So people's perception of us is our fault. You know what I mean? The way that people perceive
Mostly.
us is our fault. And the only way that we could change their mind is not by telling them, you know,
Correct.
it's like
It's
no
just-
promises, no amount of, te juro que no lo voy a volver a hacer, could ever, change their mind. What's going to change their mind is facts, son los hechos. You know, you have to put in the work.
Yeah, los hechos hablan más que
La
las
verdad que
palabras.
sí.
Exactamente.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, y no es fácil porque has pasado toda tu vida siendo esta persona. Y para literalmente tener que poner a descansar a esa persona, you know, the way that it was explained to me is that you have to bury that person and you have to go through the mourning process like if that person was dead.
Correct.
You know, it's
Yes.
like, and you know, it's like, honestly, you just like somebody that you miss, you know, it's like you cry for
yes,
them.
You do. I'm gonna be honest. You guys obviously are aware. Like, I was having one of my morning moments today.
Yeah, you
Like,
almost didn't have her
I
here.
almost didn't
We
make it,
almost
you
didn't
know?
have her here.
Like-
Nuestra madrina.
You know, she's been our first guest to this podcast, you know, and we thank her. And you guys will probably see more of her because, you know, this is something she likes doing.
Definitely.
But I mean, like her story, I think her story is something inspirational too, because you came from such a rough background, and for you to be here, because I know you, and I know you have improved, and I know you're a much better person now than you were back then.
Thank you.
And it had to take 8 years of your life for you to
Embrace that.
embrace this, you know,
Yeah.
like we heard in our church the other day, and then some guy went over there and he talked about it. So like, you may think you're in order, but you have to go through the disorder in order to reorder yourself.
Correct.
You know, and that's something I learned with my brother.
I
and
literally-
and me and my brother, you know, we fight all the time. And like me and this
I
fool,
know,
we bully
I
each other.
remember.
Trust me, man. I mean, like,
remember.
I was literally trying to pick a fight with him right now earlier, but he didn't respond to it.
I
you know?
seen
He
you
kept
too.
it
I seen
professional.
that.
You know?
Listen, I've seen you. This was years and years ago. I'm talking about like what 10 years ago. No, probably a little bit more. I seen you guys get into it one time.
Yeah.
I had just met you then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was intimidated. You know, I was like, oh, so I gotta be here to watch this. You guys talk teleshow y luego ya de repente like, bueno, bro, ya me voy. I was like, oh yeah, okay, bye, bro. You know,
I mean,
nomás
at the
I
end
didn't know better though.
Yeah,
at
the end of the
time.
day, that's what brothers do.
Right.
You know, it's like this fool knows that I love him, and it's like,
course, and
you know, it's like
definitely.
sometimes we're each other's punching bags. You know what I mean? It's like not always literally, yeah, but sometimes literally. You know, but
When we used to hang out. I mean, like for those who don't know, me and him actually have 5 months sober. Okay,
Yes.
that we just don't drink.
Clap
I mean,
hands
we
to
never
that.
been users, but we used to drink.
Clap for that.
You know?
Clap for the 5 months of
But
sobriety.
I want to say that out of both of us, I think the hardest was you.
yeah,
Because you were more of an everyday drinker.
yeah.
You know? And then I mean, like you just lead your first group the other day. That was
I
that was
love that for
amazing.
you.
That was great. You did a great job.
You know what? There's definitely different types of addicts, different types of alcoholics. A lot of people
Correct.
don't know that. I was an everyday wake up instead of coffee, it was popping a beer open. You know, it's like I'm not proud of that, but that's where I was at in life. You know, not only that, when I got into, you know, recovery, I found out that one of the things that really helps you along is service.
Correct.
You know, and I knew that's what I wanted to do as soon as I heard that. I'm here on camera, you know, it's like I like to sing, you know, it's like, and I've sung in front of people, but I've never been as nervous as I was to leave that group, you know,
Really?
and the reason why I was so nervous was because it helped me so much. It has helped me so much that I wanted to give it the respect that it owed, you know, but yeah, enough about me. So let's,
No, but
yeah.
one thing I do just want to add to that, because we had the conversation the other day,
Right.
And I did open up to you about being sober. You know, like everybody knows, like, hey, yo me doy mis tragos, and you know, I'll smoke here and there or whatever, you know. Pero for the people who are closest to me, they know that I was doing really bad in addiction at some point. And now that I'm in the real world, like it's way harder to be sober out here than in there. So I'm telling you now, and I'm returning it full flex, my respects for that.
Thank you.
Because I don't know how my life would have been had I not gone to prison. Right. I don't know if I would be here right now.
Right.
So, and I don't know if I would have took that initiative to become sober, you know? So I have a lot of respect for you for that.
Thank you.
And you have all my support always.
And it's like I told you, you know, it's like the reason why I see you as an inspiration to people, because it's rare, you know, it's rare for people to go in there and turn their lives around.
Right.
Yeah, you don't see it. You don't see that from people. Some people don't accept it, you know?
You know, I got arrested with a couple people. I'm definitely not going to talk about them too much, but me and somebody else got out at the same time and they're back, you know?
Right.
Y sentí gacho when I heard that they went back, because it's like, you have the same opportunity as me. You know, we went in exact same path. There's no reason, you know what I mean? And it feels bad to see people que no quieren cambiar, you know?
Like, better than so.
Because the world is beautiful out here. Like, I love it out here. It's hard, don't get me wrong, okay? Like, there was a time when I was like, what was I thinking? Like,
tell us
trying
about
to
your
get
release
out.
day. Now that you touched the subject. Okay.
Okay, let's
After
go
8 long years, this is the year's release day.
My release day was intense, okay? Like, I waited all day. Cuando they dicen, no, espera, apúrate y espérate a la misma vez. Así me tenían all day. Like, normalmente la gente se va en la mañana, right? Por mí llegaron casi a las 2 de la tarde. So I'm thinking, I'm not going home, you know? But in my head, I'm like, no es posible. Like, I have all my paperwork, pero it's so unreal that after 8 years, you're going to be in the free world, you know? It's so unreal that I was like, algo va a salir mal. Y luego esos pensamientos entran, pues, you know? Pero bueno, ya me hablaron. I'm driving out. We're driving out now. Y estoy viendo la calle, you know, like the real street, you know, for the first time in 6 years, I want to say. Because I did leave the prison one time to go to a doctor's appointment. So I'm driving out and it looks very moderno. That's like the best way I could describe that.
Okay.
Because I remember, obviously, like, I had been out before, you know, pero when I was 19, empecé a ver la vida diferente.
Okay.
You know,
Exactly.
like, it could definitely be either or. So everything just looked beautiful to me. I was just like, oh my God. And I just couldn't wait to go. I couldn't wait to be home. My mom moved when I was locked up. So I didn't know what home to look like.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I'm going there. Y llegamos, no, nos bajan, nos sientan como we're close to civilians, you know, we're not inmates, we're just at the parole office now.
Right.
So I'm sitting there and I don't know if I could talk to people,
Okay.
you know, like, so I'm sitting there and I'm like, y mi mamá no está. Pero no está because I couldn't call her when I'm leaving because, you know, they block your phone calls because it's like a security thing, you know?
Okay.
So, ya me meten a la oficina, they do the paperwork, algo súper rápido, like esto, you check in, this and that, yeah, you know? So, cuando me dijo que me fuera, yo me quedé ahí. I just stood there. I was like...
You can leave now.
You know, I was like, leave where? You know, like normally, like when they tell us you can leave, go back to your pod, go back there, you know? I'm like, where can I go? They're like, you can go home, you know? And I was like, are you sure? Like, I asked him, I'm like, are you sure I have nothing else to do here? They're like, no, we're sure. And I was like, all right. So, salí para afuera and somebody lent me their phone and it was an iPhone. I didn't want to leave.
Did you get released from the prison or they move you to county?
No, they take you to the parole office.
Okay.
You know where that's at, right?
No.
Over there on Las Vegas Boulevard and Bonanza.
Okay.
Like, hay una alberca ahí.
Sí.
Una
sí,
llantera,
sí.
X cosa. Ice right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So every time I drive through there, I try to see if people are walking out. And if they are, like, I'll give them something, like probably some money or something.
Okay.
Like, no, para alivianarlos. What if they need, like, bus money and stuff, you know? Like,
right.
I definitely can say not all people are as fortunate as me, you know? Because I did have a lot of support. Like, my family, no. My mom never left me.
Okay.
Ever. My mom stood by me faithfully. Like, it doesn't matter what. And my kids grew up seeing me. You know, they grew up with me in there, but I seen my kids throughout the whole time.
Nice.
And that was thanks to my mom. So we love her.
That's actually on her.
Oh.
Yeah, sir. It's
My bad,
actually
my bad.
on me. But you could go if you want, because I got a car. Oh, there you go.
Ah,
You
shit.
should have let him go, guys.
No, it's on me now.
Oh,
That's what I was
so-
trying to hurry up.
So,
Yeah, go ahead.
okay, so yeah, I coming up, I call my mom. Somebody actually.
Well, there you go. That reverse. That means she doesn't have red, right? Ah, shit.
You see, I see how you be cheating, by the way.
What? You're supposed to change the color.
I don't have to do nothing.
Yeah, you do. Why would you waste that?
Damn.
Watch when you guys
So-
lose. It's all part of the plan, folks.
We all won once last time.
4, and I'll skip you. Thank you.
Oh, I gotta get 4.
All right. So okay, so you got out, you're here. Well, what are your plans? What are your plans now for the future?
My plans. So right now, I'm working. You know, for the most part, like I'm doing good. I'm way better than I thought I would be.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Right now, I want to get my barber's license. That is like
Okay.
for this year. That is my goal. You know, this
Uh-huh.
year I want my driver's license. Not my driver, that too. But my barber's license.
didn't
That
hear
one
that.
too, though, for real. That one too.
Okay.
Did I get skipped again?
No, he got
I
skipped, so it's your turn.
Okay. Man. So, is there anything else you want to add before we end this episode? Anything you want to tell people out there? I mean, like, maybe un mensaje for all the young kids out there thinking, you know, that life is easy and there's no consequences on your actions.
Okay,
know?
definitely. I would like to shout out, especially the kids, because I feel like the youth right now, that's one thing that I've seen coming out. The youth right now is insane. Like, they are something else
Okay.
en estos tiempos. And I just hope that not everybody has to go through such a intense experience to actually understand certain things.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I hope that even if they are in a bad predicament or whatever, even si llegan al punto donde están 100% perdidos, que encuentren algo en sí para cambiar por sí mismos. You know what I mean? And just value your family. Value your family, because when people say, like, ultimately that's all you have, like, that is literally all you have, you know? And just be mindful that one fun thing can change your whole life. For the best, I mean, for the bad, but sometimes even for the better. Because I do feel like I'm going to reach my full potential because of my experience. I just hope, como te digo, not everybody has to go through that.
I see. Okay. Well, with that said, Grizzly, anything you want to say?
I mean, like I said, once again, thank you for being our madrina. You know, thank you for sharing, you know, being so open. You know, I know a lot of people are going to get a lot out of this episode.
I hope so.
You know, it started just like your experience and something negative, but I think we're living in a positive note.
Absolutely.
You know, it's like, and I think there's a lot of young people, period, that could look towards, you know, somebody like you and find inspiration, you know, and
Right.
motivation, you know, because you were in a real top spot. You know, it's like, and I'm talking about being in prison, you know, and you still, you know, worked at bettering yourself. So, you know, if people in those situations can do it, so can the, you know, the kids out there.
Yeah. And definitely, I do want to, you know, last thing, people who are like struggling with anything, you know, or they're trying to do a change, do not get discouraged.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Even on those days where it hurts, like, just feel it and just be like, all right, like, reprogram, you know, like, I got to get this. Like,
Okay.
just stay there.
So yes, keep pushing, guys. You know, keep moving forward, keep pushing, and don't get discouraged.
Correct.
That's the message.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right.
Well, Jackie, thanks for being over, brother, Grizzly. And I guess the game of Uno just kept running. I got 3 cards. I want to consider myself the winner, but well,
I have.
and
I have one card. Just, I had a hell of cards.
and remember, guys, for every action, there's a reaction. So stay safe and stay focused. We're out, guys. Keep it gangster.
We're gonna close it up. We're gonna keep playing till we get a winner.
Yeah,
We'll do
yeah.
the follow-up video and all that. You know, another story from the city of Sin. You know, right here in the Sin City on Air studio. And you already know, with all, a roll of the dice.